Hello, that's me. I am back. Uh, yeah, we're gonna be playing just a silly game. A game I want to stream around the time I first started streaming. I thought it would be fun, but I never got around to it. So I'm getting around to it right the fuck now. Let's go. I played the original Stanley Parable, like the mod, and I also played the fucking Steam release. But outside of that, I haven't played the deluxe edition. English. Yes. It's currently 1:17. That's 1:18. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Before we begin, hold on. Give me 1 sec, guys. Worst part, I think, about streaming in my room, especially from my PlayStation, is that my fucking light from my ceiling, my ceiling light, puts a fucking glare on my screen. Always, 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 always. Okay. That's it. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I hate Mondays. Hell's that? Something weird going on with the controls right now. Like, looking is like really weirdly jittery.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, and did that door close? No, I want to turn off PCs.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
This guy just gets a pencil sharpener. That's fucking it. Fuck you.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what makes this version Ultra Deluxe. This feels like regular
Yet
Stanley
there was
Parable.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I've got the feeling money's for stealing. And not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. Stanley, wash your hands. Who knows what's been on those keyboards? The beige pages. What the fuck is going on? I'm not touching my... I think I might have controller drift. Oh, that's awful. Ah, shit. I'll have to get a new controller. Fuck. Oh, well.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, fuck.
Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Is there anything different?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Fucking asshole.
Incredible. Now
Damn
he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
What if I just keep on doing that?
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me. Oh my God. It's the boss's office.
By God.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
This is really good.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
He didn't say anything when I got off. What was that? Oh, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Oh.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. Huh? What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition.
Do they?
You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Oh.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How we did it, the pyramids. Hold on, that image. Hold on. Hold on. God damn it. God damn it. Hold on. Save as WebP. Die. Anyways, the guy who went to Mars. All eyes on Stanley. Live on the stage. Live on the stage. The storyteller. An evening with world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
World's first sentient machine. World's first machine that can feel pain. Stanley Parable Stanley tonight live on stage. A conversation with Alexander the Great.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Stanley and me. What does that say? Thank you for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. I can't read the other one. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. What's that? I love the way you... I can't read that. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your coworkers. The dude who came up with pizza. Oh my god. Oh, we're back in the beginning. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Huh? Awaiting input. Okay. Live Stanley reaction.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Coffee nut.
Yes,
Number one
really,
day.
really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished,
Fuel.
here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Huh?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Can I?
There's
jump
someone
off?
you've been neglecting, Stanley. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Turn
room.
off all the
Perhaps he had simply
computers.
missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley
about
looked,
power
he
saving,
couldn't
baby.
find a trace of his co-workers.
Waiting input. What does this mean? Key.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
Tips
of
for not getting
disbelief,
fired. Talk
Stanley
less, do
decided to go up
unbelievably
to his
amazing work all
boss's
the time,
office,
every day.
hoping he might
Okay.
find an answer there.
Kind of self-dispute. Let ball up inside you, take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything's okay. Make sure your slides has a slick blue graphic with a header. There's a bevel on the text to ensure a calm and productive environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Number of slides on the slide. Slides, charts, and slides. Synergize core value expenditures. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase graphs per slide. Please don't stop some begging stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Boss appreciation man on your boss appreciation worksheet. Circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. The triplicate. Return to your boss. Specials. Solving interpersonal conflict. Find yourself conflict with another diligent employee like yourself. More inclined towards conflict unless the kind of person who initiates conflict. Where do we hire you? Okay. Football. Comatose. Travel. Metamorphosis. Spring break. Clear skin. Less air. It just restarts. Monetize free to play.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Is this like a dig on speedrunners?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Damn it. I keep on trying to walk out. I don't think I can.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No way.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building,
427.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Wait, 0142000. Wait. Wait. Three.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power...
Shut it all off. Get those lights off.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Get your first trophy. God.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Turn them off!
No matter
You're
how
wasting
hard
energy.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You fools, you absolute cretins, you're wasting electricity. Precious electricity.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Yeah, I want to see the new content. Let me in. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please,
Oh boy,
step
the new
inside and see
content.
what
Oh
thrilling
boy,
new
oh
adventures
boy.
await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay,
Wait
so
a
far
sec.
it's an
Wait,
elevator. Nothing
wait.
special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Oh, yes.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
What?
All right.
The jump
All right,
circle?
let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh. That's fucked up, dude. Stanley is currently stimming. Well,
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
wait, is that?
Goodness. Another elevator.
Goodness.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What?
Wait, really? Hold on. I don't believe you. Hold on. Won't even load.
Quality Assurance Department signed off on this. I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Huh? Narrator?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Audience Award 2014 Independent Games Festival. Good times. Buy on pressure. Oh, Steam. Okay. Gotcha. Pay my Valentine. That's... Oh, 2013. Gotcha. ...2013. Yeah, okay. Wait, would the game have been different if I said I hadn't played the Stanley Parable? Trip down memory lane. Smile because it happened. Stanley Parable alpha test. Are we gonna go back to the Half-Life 2 mod? Oh my god, it's impossible to get this achievement. I remember this. I remember there's an achievement for, I think, playing the Stanley Parable for the entirety of Tuesday, I think it was. Hold on. Oh wow, the last time I played the Stanley Parable was in 2018. June 11th, 2018. One. Achievements. Go outside, don't play. Speedrun, complete Stanley Parable in 4 minutes, 20 seconds, not including load times. Possible to get the achievement. Yeah, commitment. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. That, unachievable, the speedrun, and go outside are the only ones I don't have. Video game releasing today. College is so uneven effort to enroll poor. Caused Hinder's new attack to achieve diversity. Creators surprisingly down to earth. British Academy of Film and Television Development Team nominee, British Academy Award, The Stanley Parable Story. Debut game. Game innovation. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. I hope that's not copyrighted.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley
any other
Parable
title
was.
is simply not going
It
to be
was
correct.
literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
If the narrator doesn't kiss Stanley on the lips, it will just be just like Persona 3. I've been gay baited. The taste was nostalgic. It was good. I want to see stuff from... Stuff from, the original, dude. Person of the Year. Oh, man. Greatest wealth is memory.
Here's another moving passage.
Source SDK,
this time
move
from
objects, create levels,
GameSpot.com.
graphics.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding
Carpet
choices I've
textures.
ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
It was a 9 out of
It didn't
10.
need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
The Serious Room 2013. I mean, I will admit, this Stanley Parable was a great game, but I remember playing it, in I think it was middle school. We had one of those days where, you know, we came in late. It was like a half day, and it was delayed, so like we got on the bus and at like 12 or something like that. Or no, we got there at 7, so like normally got there at 7, so it was like, I don't know, we had until like, I think it was like maybe 11, 10 or something like that. And I remember I had to walk to the bus station that day, or my bus stop, and I remember, I want to buy the Stanley Parable.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
And I remember playing the heck out of Stanley Parable. All until I bought a bunch of other games too, I'm pretty sure, but I focused on I bought the Valve Complete pack because it was on sale that day too. And
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
And I don't like that. Let me out. But I remember playing it. I got the Valve Complete pack, I got the Stanley Parable, I got a bunch of stuff. And like I just played the Stanley Parable for like until I could until I finished it a few times, and then I played it like once I got home.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years.
Can they not say
I can't
Steam?
even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Pressurized Gas reviews. Steam. It's been painted over.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Sorry, I can't get over the what's his name? Gregor? Oh, fuck yes. Hold on. Gregor Samsa, isn't it? r/entomology? Excuse me? Oh, hell yes. Oh, fuck yes. Hold on. Hold on. Oh my god. Stop fucking saving images as WebP. Jesus Christ. Oh, hell yes. Oh, fuck yes. Pressurized gas reviews. Oh, dude, is that a forklift? Hold on. Oh, dude, I used to drive these. So cool. For those of you who don't know, I actually am forklift certified.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather
3.1 hours on
terse to
record.
begin
Yeah,
with.
okay.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Fuck. Dude, I used to drive these. Sorry.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Why the fuck are you
skip
playing the
button.
Stanley Parable?
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Yeah, okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description
I
of
could
it,
literally
but if I
listen
had
to him read a
describe it,
manual,
I'd say it was perhaps
like a
less of a
vacuum
rumination and
manual.
more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every
Erecting.
person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie Nine will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
What? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? What the fuck? Where'd he go?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe
The door,
30,
where's the door?
45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about.
Stop
I know, it's
talking.
shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Okay.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we
Of
can say
course.
goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take
Dark Souls joke.
any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't... Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt...
Narrator? Narrator? Oh god. I don't like it. I... Fire alarm?
they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our
Thanks
lives.
for the follow, Aunt FYK.
It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to
Thank you so
who
much for
we
the follow.
are as people. Because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our
Alright, that's quite enough. I don't like it.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Let me out. Are we still? But are we still in the memory area or whatever? The memory zone. Oh. Oh, I don't like this. Get me out of here. I really don't. I don't like it. I don't like it. Huh? Is that the end? Oh. Oh, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
These guys are leaving their fucking computers on. God damn it. It's called saving energy, guys. Fucking look it up. New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Where? Here?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Huh? Oh, there it is.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The computers are different. It's a Mac with the Apple logo scraped off. Time to wake up. Are they all puns but two? New mug. I've got to see what that mug says. Can't read it.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yeah, okay. New mug. Mug moments. Never underestimate coffee enjoyers who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room. Oh. Another coffee cup. I can't read. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. New hotness. Old plus busted. Wait, what's that logo? bird. Oh, crows. Because crows. Gotcha. Thanks for attending my meeting. Two Stanleys, they're in love.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Number 2, chat. Stanley Parable 2. Crab, the ultimate sequel. What does that say? Testing 2 printers at the same time. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Oh yeah, dude. Dark Souls 2, the game well known for being loved by Dark Souls fans. This way to show floor. New features. Expo Hall 2.
Here we are. Go on. Try out
Jesus
some
Christ.
of the new features.
Merch. Oh god, a QR code. Hold on. I gotta fucking scan it now. I don't have a fucking choice. I gotta. Where does it lead? The StanleyParable2.com. A sequel, huh? Watch our helpful, informative video to learn more about the Stanley Parable. That's new. If you're more of a prequel sort of person, check out the Stanley Parable. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the exhibit. Wait, they have a privacy policy. Legally, we cannot and will not knowingly click. Okay, well, that's not any fun. Oh well. This is the name of the player that is playing the game. Huh? Wait, what? For real?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
That's... Dude, I can only handle so much. I just finished playing One Shot.
Jim.
That's
Sorry,
not my name.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a
Jim.
person
Hold on.
named Jim. I want you to
Oh,
imagine
my name is
yourself
Jim?
living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
My name is Jim.
feel it
I have a
deeply?
401k.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I have an ex-wife who has
If
to pay
so,
alimony.
Then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Name. Everyone's got one. You're yours today. I really thought they were gonna do something like Fallout 4, where Codsworth can say your name. I thought they were gonna do something like that. Miss Michelle.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
No screenshots. I'd like to see you fucking try and stop me. I'd like to see you try and fucking stop me. The baby's all good. What the fuck is going on with my fucking microphone? Oh, I think it's my phone. Sorry. That happens sometimes. My phone will try and mess up the microphone. I apologize. You are Jim in the game. Huh? Hold on. I want to look at some of the other stuff before we get in there. Jump circle. We saw that. Infinite hole. The reassurance button? No screenshots? Try and fucking stop me.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I like Get Well Someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Free plus new plus easy trophy. Yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
You can't fucking do this to me. This is so fucked. This is so fucked up. I want my fucking trophy. Oh my god, that scared the shit. That scared the shit out of me. That legitimately did scare the shit out of me.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
And again, it just works. The infinite hole. It won't end. Collectibles? Exit. Investor Showcase. This year's hottest investment opportunities. Sequels. What's better than nothing? Free trophy. This map, 5. That's where we are. Merch. Settings world champion? How do I get there? 5. I have to go through to the left. Oh, that's your jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
This is so fucked up. Where's the settings? Hold on. So that's... Where is... Wait, what? Is it this? Oh, that's lame. I want some settings. I want some settings with some meat on their bones. I want some settings with chest hair, baby. What's this? Holy moly.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna go back for right now. I think that's where we have to jump off at the end, so... Not yet. I want to see the collectibles. I want to see... Infinite hole. What's up here? Oh, settings world champion. Wait, hold on. want to show Radical really quick. Enables additional text and it's a game like free trophy. That's new. What's this? Epilogue. Oh. Collectibles. What about collectibles? Oh wait, first you gotta see the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yeah, okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Trophy, infinite hole. I think that's it. Jump circle, collectibles. I think that's all. Exit. Oh, maybe I have to go to the exit. So what's the bottomless? You know, it would be epic. Fucking sprint button.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now.
Hole,
Did you really need
hole,
to see it again?
hole,
I don't know what
hole.
else there is to say, Stanley.
Post-hole.
It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so
We
many
live in a
other
post-hole
fascinating
world, so
exhibits that I've
post-hole.
prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe
Just the
you're the
two
problem.
of us. We can
Look,
make it
things
if
got a
we
little
try.
heated there. I think we both
Just
said
the
some
two
things we
of us.
didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Alright, I think I gotta go to the exit now. I think that's all. Let me check the map. Let me all collectibles. Oh, epilogue. 3. We did that. March. Jump circle. Yep, all we have left is the epilogue. Don't remember how to get there. Oh.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, that's it? Okay. We didn't even get to see the settings world champion. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yep. New mug.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Okay.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
in the
memo.
sequel, people still
No
don't know
matter
how
how
to turn
hard
off their
Stanley looked,
fucking
he couldn't
computers.
find a trace of his co-workers.
Fucking Turn it off.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket
Yeah.
all along?
The bucket
Was
told
the
me.
bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another
Stanlerines.
Stanlerine under your belt.
It looks like he's on an amiibo. Like an amiibo stand.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind
It's so
Control
tempting,
Facility.
but no, not right now.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley
Where's
and the
my
bucket had
fucking
defeated their
button? Where's my
greatest and
fucking
darkest
trophy?
enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine, freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Turn off your fucking computers. Meeting today, Figurine Fighters Committee, meeting room.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
In the meeting room, huh? There will be a reward for finding them all. Oh my god. Trust the completionist instinct. Just a memo from management. So you spy on what makes them float in the air. Take pictures of them. Fired by employee 416. Good luck. Bottom text. To whom it may concern. Is there any more? No. To whom it may concern. I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambience. Or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphone, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allow me to triangulate the source of strange noises. Data shows that in all likelihood it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be reverberance of a porcelain surface. Well, those are the two that we found. That I found. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, I feel pointless, TVH. saw one in the cargo room. Okay, saw one in the cargo room. There's one in the cargo room. They look like 427. There's one in the cargo room. Oh! Large room. Cargo room. Somewhere about the red and blue. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere about the red and blue. We've missed the
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
What's this? Can't read that. Okay, storage room. So is that somewhere red and blue? Is that what that is?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Can't fault me for trying every time.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door
Nope.
that read, Mind Control Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Where's what? What's wrong, Chillin'? Also, hello, Chillin'. Oh shit. It's just blank. What are you talking about? Chillin', are you okay? This is your idea of protest? What do you mean a protest? I have no idea what
As
you're
the
talking
machine
about.
whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their
Here's
demise,
the damn
Stanley
hoodie
reflected
design.
on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really want to do one tonight. Here's a consolation for you. Hold on, let me get my constellation for you. Here. Here. This is for you. Just in the corner. Are you happy now? Huh?
B. To be sure, it puts the mind and
What
the
if someone
soul
has
at ease to embrace
arachnophobia?
the bucket. But what?
Can you sense the spider? Hold on. No. I have a better idea. Just don't. Hold on. I don't have sense of the spider. Just. There, are you happy now? You fucking greedy hog. What? Is there anything else that's wrong with my stream? Please. Please, share. Yeah, what's wrong? You know what, chillin'? You know what? Why don't you say it to my face, huh? Why don't you come say it to my face? Huh? Come on. Tough. Say it to my face. Come on. You know, why don't you come in here right now and say it to my face?
What?
Oh, hello.
What do you...
Is there a problem? Is there a problem, chillin'? Is there a problem? Is there a problem with my stream? What's the problem with my stream?
I was just watching videos. I was gonna go to sleep.
Uh-huh. You're not in my chat telling me, oh, you can't put spiders on your stream. It'll scare the masses. Oh, you gotta put
I stream on YouTube.
What?
What are you talking about? I stream on YouTube now at youtube.com/chillandcreative.
Hold on.
I have to open your... What's happening on your screen? But everyone should go follow it. Rainey22 on YouTube. Oh, thank you for the warning. I don't have arachnophobia, but thank you for the warning.
Yeah. I spelled it correctly. Okay, this bit sucks. I'm sorry. This bit fucking sucks. This bit sucks. fucking non sequitur sucks. Get out of here. We're leaving the Expo Visitor live feed though. Just kidding, no we're not. Anyways, back to whatever the fuck.
Use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death. This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Welcome to the grand exhibit.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring, drove dozens of nations to war. Billions died, yet in spite of it all, simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Okay.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Hanging bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Input received. Oh shit. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Okay, so another fucking trophy that we have to find is in the cargo room? Question mark? Oh, good. We're still okay.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others.
Turn your fucking
wherever they
computers
were.
off.
Just a matter of time.
It's not good for your computers to leave them on. You fucking. So if I want to go to the cargo room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Wait, isn't that? Is this the cargo room?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
Cool, how do I get back? Oh. Whew.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
No, it's not all in Stanley's head. Stanley is just
sad.
dead.
Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
This is all your fault. Okay, somewhere blue and red. Somewhere blue and red. Somewhere blue and red, huh?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Need it.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to...
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Let me in. Let me in. Somewhere red and blue. Wait, what? Hold on. Ah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Somewhere.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
This is not red and blue.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fan... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes. It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the
There's
bucket.
red.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket.
I don't...
And then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Oh, good, you're still. Okay.
All of his co-workers were
Red
gone.
and blue.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed him.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Red and blue. I can't think of somewhere red and blue. I just can't think of.
Stanley
Where'd that
clutched the
be?
bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Both red and blue. Somewhere both red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This was where I found the other one. But it would be in there. It's not red and blue. Stanley. Is that? Is that the narrator singing? Somewhere both red and blue. I don't know. It's not the escape. Somewhere both red and blue. Come on. Maybe I'm missing something. Where would someone...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had...
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
have an
to go
idea.
back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Danger everywhere. Ooh, this is blue.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
Sorry.
Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
God, I've been live for almost 3 fucking hours.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
That's a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an
Fuck
actual
you.
bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Rule of thirds, baby. That's a bucket.
Item 3.
That's a bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct.
Yeah.
This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Is this a gotcha? Yeah, that's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
What? What? Wait, what?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
That's a hologram or something.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Fuck you.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
We're all buckets.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay,
No,
here we go.
you can't. You fucking monster.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person?
What?
All right, here we go.
What? What? Well, that was,
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself.
bust, I
Minutes?
suppose.
Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
I have an
perfectly
idea.
well.
What if we
Perhaps
go
he wanted to
without
stop
a
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Am I allowed to go through
The lounge
no
was
bucket
grand,
door?
majestic, perhaps too, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yeah.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I think this is where I'm gonna call it. We'll do one more ending and then I'm gonna call it. Fuck you.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yeah.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I give it like a 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Where am I? Oh. Oh. A dead rat.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Yes.
Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Because I hate babies.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha!
Wait,
Fascinating.
this is
What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Firewatch.
What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the
Watch.
experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
This is different from the original. The original, it was a Portal 2 and Minecraft, I think.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Oh
It
dear,
is.
this is causing my
It's an
face
open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go
Oh my
in
God,
any...
this is...
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find
What's the
another
next game
game.
gonna be?
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
What's this game gonna be?
Wonderful.
Rocket League.
See, this is
I think.
exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
Yeah, it is
Have
Rocket
fun.
League. Oh my god. Good fucking god.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Yes.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
So true. So true, narrator.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
Fucking
this is
asshole.
my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley. Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh Christ.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, wait. Oh. Huh? He took the door on his left. Oh. Well, fuck. There's a beast in here. Can they get away with this? Using like old Half-Life assets? Are they? Can they? Huh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, well, that's where I think I'm going to call it for tonight. It is at quite a bit more than I was actually expecting. I'm gonna be honest. And it was fun. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I might play more of this. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a cool noise. Anyway, so outro stuff. If you enjoyed the music from the BRB, and starting soon, rather, I have that link down below. Artists link also down below my about page. I have a VOD channel, Rainey Stream Archive. Trying to be more up to date on that. I have a Twitch, where I do stream announcements. It's at mmrainey22. I also have a Tumblr. It's Rainey with 2 Y's. I have a YouTube channel, mmrainey22. We have a Discord. It's linked in the VOD of every video, as well as in my about page. Anything else? Follow if you enjoyed. We're really close to being an affiliate. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Every view counts. Truly. Thank you so much. Have a nice night.